everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dan. I'm an Amazon seller. I've been doing that for 6 years. And the main way in which I get my items is through something known as Retail Arbitrage. Real short and sweet, what that is I go to actual stores, I use my phone and I scan items using my phone. I find items that are profitable, that I can sell on Amazon, and I do that. My primary store upon which I do my shopping at is Ollie's. Ollie's has been my main store for about 2 years. Ollie's has been very good to me. I hope it continues being good to me. Also, I'll be sharing with you my yearly sales that I did. Know that though, with my yearly sales, the number is going to come down a little bit because there's still a few more deductions that I need to put in and some write-offs that's going to bring down my total profit for the year. So I'll be using a program called Inventory Labs to help me with these items, the breakdown of my sales. Again, Inventory Labs is a program that helps you do a number of things with this business. It helps you list and create shipments. It helps you track your sales. When it comes tax time, it's an invaluable tool. I cannot imagine doing this business without it. It is a great resource. So the program that I'll be using is Inventory Labs. So without any further ado, here are my top 5 things I sold in 2022. Hope you enjoy. We're looking at the program called Inventory Labs. I've spoken a lot about Inventory Labs. Again, I can't imagine doing this business without it. It's an integral part of the business. So let me talk about some of the things that we're looking at. On the bottom of this screen, we've got this. First off, this is in the way and I can't seem to move it. So it talks about just some of the items that I've sold. But if we go over here, we can see that my revenue for 2022 was $238,000. There is some tweaking that needs to be done with that because when I look at it through another view, it shows $248,000. So I'm not sure why that's why there's a difference there. Need to dive into that a little bit. My profit is roughly $85,000 was my profit for the year. And looking at my top 5 items, I'll bring them into this screen right here. Here's number 5. Number 5 is this Star Wars Darth Vader series. And I had a profit of $1,118. My ROI on that item was $345. Not bad. And I sold 12 of them. Bought it at Ollie's. And this is what that item looks like. This is that item. Really don't even know what it is, but it's Star Wars. If it's Star Wars, it's going to sell. It's just, Star Wars has really just proven itself to be a really, really good item. So that is item number 5. So here we have item number 4. These are pure protein bars. I was able to purchase these, started purchasing them in February of last year. And then I was able to pick them up in March and maybe even into April. One of my first YouTubes that I made on a road trip, this was the main purchase, were these protein bars. I think I at the first Ollie's I went to on that road trip, I think I got maybe 30 cases at the first store I went to. I had to go through and check the expirations and everything, but the expiration was solid. This was a good item. And here is what that item looks like. This is the pure protein. And even now, they're selling for $25. It's a 2-pack. I was able to get it for $7.20, I think. It should say here. Cost $7.20. And so my total revenue was $5,000. Some of these I guess I did these merchant fulfilled. Yeah, I did most of these merchant fulfilled. I can tell that because there's a shipping cost here. My profit was $1,563, and the ROI was 118%. This was a good item. And when I go in Ollie's now, I I'm looking when I go to the food aisle, I'm looking for these pure proteins. And that goes along with any of the items that I have sold a decent quantity of. The fact that Ollie's has sold pure protein bars, it shows that the companies, those two companies, the Pure Protein and Ollie's, they have a relationship. And if in the future Pure Protein needs to unload a particular item because it's close to expiration, or they have a lot of quantity, they've already established that relationship with Ollie's. So I would think that that would be easy for them to do. So I keep an eye out for those pure proteins. And it was just that one flavor. I think there was 4 different flavors of the pure protein. It was only that one that I was able to sell. The other 3 didn't even scan. And this was when I was just kind of starting out with doing food. So maybe I should have searched better, and maybe they would have come up. I'm not sure. But that is item number 4. Well, item number 3 is Cascade. Interesting story about the Cascade. Let me see if I can get this up. See, too far. The Cascade I go to a bunch of Ollie's. I'm sure you guys know that. Probably within the course of a month or two, I go to about 15 or 16 different Ollie's in different states. And this Cascade, I found at one Ollie's in Delaware. Was it Delaware? It was. If it wasn't no, it wasn't Delaware. It was an Ollie's in Aberdeen, Maryland, pretty close to Delaware. And that's all they had. They had 1 pallet of this Cascade. So I scanned it. It scanned real well. I think, well, there's my cost. My cost was $11.70. And it was selling for $35, $36. So I bought, I think, maybe 40 or 50 of them. Went back to my mom's house because I was in Maryland. And then just did some more research. And then I went back the next day and bought all of them. So I sold 109 of those. And my profit was a little over $2,000. My ROI was roughly 160% ROI. Good item. And again, another aisle that I just consistently go and visit. Now, here is what that item looks like. This is that Cascade. And nothing special about it. It's a 70 count. But I think the last maybe 30 or 40 that I sold, they were for $55. And I did send a lot of these. I did do merchant fulfilled. And I remember a lot of them going in New York City. So the convenience of having them sent directly to your house is definitely a value when it comes to Amazon. If we take a look at it now, it is selling now for $125 for Cascade. Kind of makes me wish I would have held on to a few of them. But, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Well, item number 2 is the Caesar's wet dog food. Now, you have heard me say many times in my videos when I go into Ollie's, food aisle or the dog food aisle has been good to me. And this is one of the items that's been very good to me. You can see that I have sold 119 of these. My total revenue is close to $6,500. My profit is $3,600 with this item. 348%. And here is what that Caesar's dog food looks like. Again, just nothing special. It was a 12-pack. I tell you, and all the Ollie's had these. And I passed up on some. I was a little gun shy. Again, I bought over 100 of them, but I was a little gun shy on these. Expiration was good. The only tricky thing was I bought these, I guess it was over the summer. I bought them and I put them in my garage, and price tanked, as it does. And then I needed to bring all these back into my house because winter came, and I didn't want them to freeze because that would cause a problem. So I had to bring all those back into the house. So it's a good thing I have kids. So I use my workforce to help me bring those back into the house. So that is item number 2. So item number 1, the number 1 item that I sold was Flonase. I was able to pick up a 3-pack of Flonase, and there were a couple different flavors. I think there was 2 different flavors, and I had them under 2 different listings. Bought them all at the same time, so I just kind of put them all together. So when you add these 3 profits together, you get $4,300, $4,345. The average ROI was 300% ROI on this item. You can see that I purchased it for $11.70, and this is what that 3-pack looked like. And you can still see these. These are still out in pharmacies. They're still a very popular item, but they're selling for $42 in the pharmacy. So no profit to be made there. But this was a great item. Now, as I got close to selling all the Flonase that I had, I did receive an IP complaint from this company. Now that I've learned a little bit about IP complaints, though, I was concerned at first. I responded to the letter. I told them I only had 10, 15 left, and that I would sell them out over the weekend, and they said no problem. But then I noticed that many individuals continued selling this product. So I'm not convinced that that was a genuine IP complaint. So that is item number 1. Now I've also done a little bit of math. I've gone into those 5 items that I've just shared with you, and I've compared them to my overall sales. Now these numbers still need to be tweaked a little bit, but when you look at the profit of those 5 items was $12,700, and compare that to my overall sales of $85,000, that comes out to be 15%. So 15% of my profit for 2022 came from those 5 items. Now that $85,000 profit, that's not a true number. It's going to be coming down. That includes my cost of goods, that $85,000. That includes my cost of goods. It includes Amazon's fees, shipping charges, if I did it merchant fulfilled, that includes all that. But what it doesn't include boxes. It doesn't include my other expenses that I will be writing off, as far as my mileage, as far as food, as far as my home office space, insurance. Those are the big ones. So that number is going to come down, and it's going to come down a lot. My true expenses in there, I mean boxes, I think I spent over $3,000 just in boxes this year. So that number is definitely going to come down, probably around 70,000, I would think. If I put in all of those expenses, I'm going to try and get it down a lot more than that, actually. The more expenses that I can claim, the smaller the amount of reported revenue I will be taxed on. So, my cell phone bill, that is 100% of a write-off right there, and that will be close to that's $2,200. It's $220 a month, so no more than that. Then so that's $2,500 of a write-off will just be my cell phone bill. So I'll be talking about taxes in another video. Well, that concludes the recap of the top 5 things I sold in 2022. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of it. I have to tell you, that was not my plan for today. I was planning on going sourcing to do a little mini road trip today. There are 2 ollies that are west of me that are 2 hours away, but they're good stores. Haven't been to them in a while, and that was my plan today. That is until Bella decided to eat through her cast. So Bella, I had run some errands yesterday, left the house. I did not put her e-cone or her cone of shame on, and she was able to bite through her wrapping and the gauze, and she got to skin. So had to do an emergency vet appointment this morning. All's good. She didn't get into anything too bad. We just had to rewrap it, and she's good. Which is just as well, because when I left the house this morning, it was -5 degrees. The wind chill was -22. So might not be a bad day just to stay inside. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If so, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. It's a big help. And thanks. Have a great day.